So what got you into coaching? How'd that come about?
Well, what got me into coaching was in those times when I was the misguided or whatever you want to say. Nick Kruger and Russ Grant, they were that hand on my shoulder that I needed. And after all the stuff that I went through as a kid, I joined the Army, and after the Army, I went back to both Nick and to Russ, and I said, I can't thank you enough for everything that you did for me. How can I repay you? And I was thinking, I'll clean up your barn, I'll help you in your restaurant, I'll help you build whatever you need to build. And they both said, you can't repay us. There's no debt there. But they said, how you can honor us is when you have the opportunity to help somebody that you do. And I knew the type of coaches that I had, that I liked and that I didn't like. And so and the things that I liked about Nick and Russ, that I knew what type of coach I wanted to be. It was 4 years removed from being around coaches that I liked or didn't like. And so I knew who I wanted to be as a coach when I stepped onto the field or onto the court.
So who were these gentlemen to you?
They were both, Russ had horses. We lived in a trailer park, and he just had horses behind. And Nick was a guy that you'd miss your bus stop intentionally so you could get out at his driveway and cut through just so that you could hear him. Luigi was how he just called all of the neighborhood kids. You were Luigi's. It didn't mean anything. It wasn't an actual word. It was just a pet name that he had for all of us. And he'd be in his barn, and you just wait for his high squeaky voice of, "Hey, Luigi!" And
So he was just a neighborhood guy that kind of took the neighborhood kids and probably kept an eye on them while parents were out working.
Not even that. He was just a guy that you could go and just hang out with. And you'd make sure your route went through his yard if you're going down to the corner store or off the bus or just to see what he's doing on a Saturday. He was just a guy that had the personality that you forgot that you were dirt poor, that you forgot. He didn't care about your background. He didn't care about anything except you and really uplifting who you were in that moment. And just was always a positive guy to have around. And Nick was the guy that went to our church. I was in the same grade as his daughter Karen, and good friends with her older brother Todd. And so we went to the same church. I would find Nick in church and sit next to him.
So he became like a father figure to you.
He filled the need that I had, but I wouldn't really put the father figure because I wasn't around for a lot of those fathering moments, just in church or we go over to their house for lunch quite a bit, or just hang out with Karen and Todd. But so I wouldn't classify him. He was somebody that I deeply admired, the way he lived his life, the way that he did a lot of things. I know I needed him there as a mentor. He mentored me without mentoring me. He was just there for those shift my shoulder moments, for just being